It gives me great pleasure to present to you the first ever pre-election survey conducted by the Election Management Body in Fiji. Ladies and gentlemen, this survey was born from the FEO's 2020 to 2023 strategic plan, where we heavily emphasized on initiatives to enhance voter participation in the 2022 general election. While voter participation in an election is dependent on many factors, there is a lack of scientific statistical data on the knowledge, views and understanding of voters in Fiji. There are several commentaries and claims that surface in discussions relating to participation in elections. They usually stem from one's own political proclivities. One must keep in mind that since the introduction of voluntary voting in Fiji, the number of invalid votes has not risen to above 1%, in comparison to 6.4 in 2006, 11.7 in 2001, etc., etc. Our survey builds on the survey that was done in 2020 to understand the voter knowledge, views, and understanding when it comes to elections. The survey report provided for the first time an opportunity to develop familiarity with the behavior, perceptions, and aspirations of the most important stakeholder in the election, the voter. The direct results from this survey were presented to the FEO senior management prior to the commencement of our Know Your Election campaign. The data assisted the operations team as well as our awareness team in formulating awareness drive in terms of reach, access, and coverage. The type of information that the FEO has to take to the voters was formulated based on the responses in this survey. The FEO also used results from this survey to organize the information dissemination program. The type of media that we use for marketing was determined through the results of this survey. This survey also allowed the FEO to understand the extent to which fake news, misinformation, and disinformation has penetrated into the Fijian public sphere. Based on the survey, the FEO will implement more measures to assist Fijians with filtering information that they access. The analysis of the survey results is indeed fascinating. In some areas, we carried out further intrusive analysis to prove certain hypotheses or disprove other offered opinion. The results and the analysis will allow the reader to understand the Fijian electoral environment better. Of course, you may have more questions, and that is the birth of another survey. The survey has been uploaded to our website, and we will be giving you the QR code for the survey that you can use to download the entire survey with all the data and the graphs presenting the survey. Question 10 is one of the most interesting questions, ladies and gentlemen. How much interest do you take in politics? Of the survey respondents, 74% of them take some level of interest in politics, 22% take a lot of interest, and 52% take a little interest in politics. 26% of the respondents indicated they took no interest at all. In the post-election survey after the 2018 general election, 19.7% of the respondents noted a lot of interest in politics, 58.3% noted a little interest, while 21.9% noted no interest in politics. So it has fallen down in 2 percentage points, and this is an election year, of course, when no interest in politics has gone down 2 percentage points. Another very interesting is the responses by age to see in terms of the interest in politics. Across all the age groups, more than 60% of the survey respondents take some level of interest in politics, either a little, a lot. That's across all. More than half the survey respondents who fall between the ages of 18 to 60 years take a little interest in politics. Respondents in the 18 to 20 category and 81 plus have the most interest at 25%. So interestingly, the young people between 18 to 20 have a lot of interest in politics, 25% more than other age categories. The percentage of respondents who take no interest in politics increases with age. We looked at the trend by education. The trend for a lot increases with the level of education. The trend for a little also increases as education level increases. The trend for none decreases as the level of education increases. So we looked at how these people get their election information from, where they get their election information. The summary of responses for those who answered none against the platform they used to get election information. Firstly, that's 2,449 people who had indicated they had no interest in politics. 46% of them accessed their election information on social media. This analysis was done to see whether the respondents who took no interest in politics got the election information. So 46% from social media, 32% from radio, 5% from newspaper, and 17% from television. So this is where they get most of their election information. They have no interest in politics, they have said. Then we looked at summary of respondents who answered none, and how often they came across Facebook posts from the Fijian Elections Office. Of the 2,449 people who answered none, close to 48% indicate they have never come across posts from the Fijian Elections Office on social media. So the communications team has a job to reach out to these people. 30% of them have occasionally come across, 12% have come frequently, and 10% have come across a lot of posts from Fijian Elections Office. 52% have come across posts from the Fijian Elections Office but have no interest in politics. Then we looked at, as we continue going, it gets more interesting. We looked at the responses from those respondents who answered a lot and how often they verify election information on social media. This analysis will allow us to ascertain whether the level of interest in politics has any correlation to the fact that they actually verify the information that they receive on social media on the political landscape in Fiji or not. Of the 2,105 respondents who take a lot of interest in politics, 34% always verify election information on social media, while 21% do it most of the time. 15% never verify the election information on social media. So they have a lot of interest in politics, but 15% of that number do not verify information on social media. That is also a risk area. We continue to do some more digging based on the numbers that we have received. Another investigation that we did was on the 52% that have a little interest in politics to see if they have ever shared something on social media without reading the full article, because they have a little bit of interest, so they might look at something and just share it. From that number, 12% have said yes to this question. So that is how you can say some of the misinformation gets spread, because they have a little bit of interest in politics, they see something about politics and they say, okay, I might as well share it, someone else will read it. And that's 12% of the sample. Of course, all of these people rely heavily on social media. Question 11. If it were up to you, when should the date of the general election be announced? This is an interesting question. 15% by a slight margin, 1% margin, have said September. Ladies and gentlemen, the disclaimer here, this is not an announcement by the Fijian Elections Office of the election date. This is a perception of the voters as to when the election can be called. Kindly note that in your articles, please, Fiji Times, do not publish us as saying that the election is in September. Question 12. How are you planning to read the manifesto? Sorry, it's not how. Question 12 is, are you planning to read the manifestos of all political parties? As you know, one of the key ways to determine which party policy you accept is to actually read through the whole manifesto. So we decided to ask this question. 48% of the respondents indicate that they will be reading the party manifesto. 34% have indicated that they may read it, while 18% stated that they will not read the manifesto. We looked at the analysis by age to see what's the demography when it comes to age. How do they react to this? Over 40% of the respondents between the ages of 18 to 70 indicate that they will be reading the party manifestos. More than 30% of the respondents across all age groups are not sure and have indicated that they may read it. A trend can be seen developing for the 40 plus group, whereby the probability of the respondents reading the manifesto declines and the likelihood of them not reading manifestos rises as age increases. This could be attributed to party loyalties, ladies and gentlemen. One assumption here is that it could be attributed to party loyalties by these individuals, or even loyalties to particular personalities. They will vote for that party or candidate regardless of the proposed policies of that party or candidate. In the US they have this thing, California is a Democrat heavy area, Texas is a Republican state, so whether you want it or not, you will vote Republican in Texas, and whether you vote Democrat is going to make a difference or not is not an issue. So that's something that is there for people who are of a mature age. They could say, I'm going to stick with this candidate, because I like this candidate, and whatever is their policy is acceptable. I don't have to read it and verify. I know this candidate, and this is it. So that's one of the things when it comes to that age category. Then we look at, earlier question was about interest in politics. So we decided to use the statistics from interest in politics to see the patterns of behavior when whether people said they take a lot of interest in politics relating to reading party manifestos. If you have a lot of interest in politics, that means you will have to read the manifestos to fuel your interest, isn't it? Otherwise, it could mean that they are not aware that they should read political party manifestos, or they do not even know that manifestos are something that political parties create. So those who said a lot of interest in politics, 18% of said yes, we will read manifestos. 3% said they maybe will read, 1% said no. Of those who have a little interest in politics, 21% said they will maybe read the manifestos, 24% said yes, we will read the manifestos, 7% said no, we won't read the manifestos. And then of those who have no interest in politics, 6% said they might read the manifesto, 10% said they will not read the manifesto, and 9% said they may read it. That is the breakdown of the number of people in that area. So we decided to use the information we gathered regarding verification of information on elections and test what is the stand of people in terms of their political interest and whether they verify information on elections. Of the 4,586 survey respondents who said they will read political party manifestos, 21% will never verify the information they read on social media, while another 40% may verify, but sometimes. Nearer to the general election, political parties will be campaigning, and social media is likely to be one of the major platforms they use. So this graph will be very useful for political parties come closer to the elections. Question 13. Will you vote in the next general election? 98% have said yes, 2% have said no. So we decided to test. We decided to test the numbers who said that they will vote or not vote, and in terms of their interest in politics. Close to 99% of all respondents in all three categories said that they will still vote, even if they have no interest in politics. So then we decided to see the level of interest in whether the respondents will read political party manifestos. So those who had said yes to reading political party manifestos, 49% of them said that they will vote. And 17% of them who said that they will read political parties manifestos said they will not vote. 51% of them said maybe, that they will read the manifesto, but they will not vote. 33% of them who said maybe they will read the manifesto, but they will vote. So these are very interesting figures that have developed from the analysis of the questions against other question results. Number 14, These are questions testing the confidence of the Fijian public in elections. This is a prominent question that usually comes around. So here it goes. I have the freedom to vote for whoever I want to vote in an election. It is a constitutional right, and it is supposed to be delivered by the Fijian Elections Office. 99% of the survey respondents agree that they have the freedom to vote for whomever they want in the Fijian general election, while 1% disagree. Normally when someone talks about free and fair elections, this is the confidence of the Fijian public in the elections in Fiji. 99% believe that they have the freedom to choose for whoever they want to vote for in the general election. So we decided to see those that have given answers to this, whether they verify information on social media. Of the 99% that said that they will vote, that they have the freedom to vote for whoever they want in the general election, 40% sometimes verify information on social media, but 28% never verify information on social media. But they still believe that they have the confidence in the election. They have the confidence in the election that you have the freedom to choose for whoever you want to vote for in the election. You are not coerced to vote for anybody else. Of those respondents who had voted in the 2018 general election, 99% also agreed with the statement. So this means, those who questioned the 2018 election was not free and fair, the people of Fiji actually tell you with this answer, that 99% agree with the statement that you can choose to vote for whoever you want in the general election. The full freedom is there. Question 15. The election process in Fiji provides equal opportunities for all voters to take part in elections. 99% of the survey respondents agree that the elections process in Fiji provides equal opportunities for all voters to take part in elections. 1% disagree with the statement. For those who voted in the 2018 election, 99% agree with this statement as well. So, with the question of freedom, when you look at a free and fair election, we look at some of these factors. And here you go, 99% of the people agree that the elections process in Fiji provides equal opportunities for all voters to take part in the election. Then we ask the most fundamental question of all. My vote is a secret. Agree or disagree? 3% of them disagree, 97% agree. The right to vote by secret ballot is guaranteed in the 2013 Constitution of the Republic of Fiji. So we decided to use the data and look at what age category thinks how. 99% of the respondents from 18 to 20 have a greater trust in the election system, possibly due to the participation in the Introduction to Elections curriculum in the secondary school. So they have studied it. They now know the front to back of the election and they understand it. So they have greater trust in the election. We looked at the results from 2018. Of the 288 respondents who disagree with the statement, 69% had voted in the 2018 election and 29% had not voted in the 2018 election. So that is the confidence level in the election, ladies and gentlemen. Going forward, as you have seen, that we have collated information on critical elements of the election to find out the perceptions of the voters when it comes to the general election process. There is no point in going to a person who does not understand, who may not understand at this point in time, what is the definition of free and fair election. The definition of, just like the definition of the word democracy is heavily politicized, the definition of free and fair election can also be heavily politicized, can be said to be heavily politicized. So in that regard, what you do is you test the understanding of the voter in terms of the small elements in the electoral process and to see what is the confidence level of the voter or the trust level of the voter in those processes. And as you have seen from the pre-election process, the number is nothing below 95% when it comes to the confidence of the voter in the free or fairness of the process in the general election. So ladies and gentlemen, going forward, this survey will come in very handy. Tomorrow we are having a first ever stakeholder forum on enhancing voter participation in Fiji. We will be discussing this report at great length with the participants that are there. And as you can see that the data that we have in this report will provide very, very critical, intriguing results for you to make some summaries, as well as develop new questions for future surveys in Fiji, and at the same time allow you to understand the the Fijian electoral atmosphere when it comes to voters. So, having said that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.